Hey man, what it is, what it ain't, the place where we do and don't give a damn what you think. I'm here with my boys, man. From the Jump Podcast. To my left, I got
Big Tony,
man behind the camera. Got Alex, man, and over here to my right.
Got Al.
My fault. I forgot to start the camera. You good? Go ahead.
Oh,
That's the only
shit.
reason why. No, go ahead. You good.
Okay, well yeah, man. Anyways,
We're live.
let's just get what
what do we miss?
do we miss the whole intro or whatever?
I've done it before. Just go.
Oh, okay, cool.
It don't matter.
It
You
is
don't
what
notice
is,
it.
man. All right, bet.
Don't worry about it.
Anyways, we gonna get right into it, man. Especially with LeBron coming back, just to go back down.
Man,
Gonna miss the next game and possibly the game after that, and so I'm gonna let the Bron fan go first.
he's getting old, man. He's getting old. My biggest thing, I just don't want him to go out with however many years he got left with injuries, being
Mhm.
injury prone. You know what I mean? And obviously, LeBron knows his body. He's been doing this a long time, but he old now. So if an ankle injury nicks him up, he's probably gonna be hurt for a minute. I feel like he gave it a chance and it didn't feel right, but I don't know, man. I hate it for the big guy.
No.
Hopefully he's healthy for the playoffs, and I'm really hoping they ain't got to play that playing game stuff, because say he was to lose that, it might get ugly for him for a little bit. But then again, you know, I'd be like, y'all judge him, but y'all didn't judge Jordan for losing all them first round stuff, so it is what it is. But hopefully my guy come back and get the rocking.
Oh yeah, man. Hell.
Oh, we already know he's not losing that first round.
He never does,
He
yeah.
never does. I'll say that to begin with, but like you already know, that's a big hurt to the NBA, and that's just a big hurt seeing him going down again. Because you know you really want to see him out there playing again and see him healthy, especially in the playoffs. Like every year, that's one person like you turn on the TV to watch.
Right.
So that's definitely a big loss. And like I feel like right now he's overcorrecting like his body is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like especially from the injury. And like he said, he's old.
He's
He's
old,
at that
man.
point.
He said he may never be 100% again, bro.
Man.
That's hard for a person to admit. But then again, he's played 18 seasons. You know, most
Mhm.
people done by now. And if not, they like Vince Carter, you know, come in every now and again, whatever. They ain't starting, still being the best player on their team.
Mm-hmm.
But if he come back, do what he can, cool. Hopefully he's just healthy for next year and we can finish off right. But if he plays, wins the championship with a bum ankle, the man's on another level. Superman.
Yeah.
I just think at the same time, like that short off season is what really screwed him right now, and then
Yeah.
him deciding to play all those back to backs at the beginning of the season when AD was hurt,
Yeah.
just to keep that like one spot. He was forcing it too much right there.
Mm-hmm.
No, hell yeah. It's tough, you know, especially, you know what I'm saying. We've been alive long enough to see Bron's whole career, you
Yeah.
know, what he does and is able to do for his team. And, you know, it's just, it's real tough, man. Because we didn't see nobody like that. We didn't see Jordan go down like that. We didn't see, you know, a lot of big names. So I'm hoping everything goes right for him, you know, with AD coming back. Like you said, it's 18 seasons in, man. That's tough.
Crazy.
And I mean, shit, you know, a lot of people think, 35, 36 isn't that old, but shit, like with that wear and tear over 18 years and bumping and hitting 7-footers that are 250 pounds, 260 pounds, I mean, it'll do something to the body, man.
But you're talking about a man that hasn't been hurt much, if ever, for 18 years.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, he never really missed too many games unless he absolutely had to for whatever reason that was.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at the tenure, you're talking about 81 games for 18 seasons. I mean, that's crazy for you not to miss many at all, especially due to injury.
Yeah,
And
and then
then
postseason.
the last couple years, you had to miss 30-some games, 40 games because of injury in total. It's really starting to show his age a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, it's one of those things, if he can overcome this once again, it's just like you'll never see nothing like that man again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really weird because I was telling Mariah the other day, like, I don't even watch the NBA like I used to because he's not playing. So, like, it's not entertaining to be like, I can watch a game at 7 and then a game at 9 and then the Lakers come on later.
Mm-hmm.
So I would watch all 3. Well, now if LeBron's not playing, I'm like, I'm cool watching 8, but it's just not the same for me until he retires and I pick somebody new. But it's still not, I still can't come to realization that it's coming to an end and it's really accepting it for what it is.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing is AD is not playing up to his part right now.
Yeah.
Like that man's been playing booty.
You know,
Yeah,
and he's injury prone. But last time he came off injury, he had LeBron sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
Now he got to go back to carrying the squad, and I just don't know if that's KD. I mean, AD
Yeah.
in his stature.
Yeah, no, definitely not. That's why he left the Pelicans. Might be like, yeah, you better get your shit together,
Man,
bro.
he's
I'm out
fed
again.
up, man. Exactly. So you see Boogie, like I was trying, bro.
Mhm.
I need help though.
Nah, for real. With that being said, and with them losing the games that they've had, and losing their big two here and there, they're right there on the edge of going to that playoff thing. How do you feel about if they were to have to play those 3 games?
I mean, I just feel like it's like I don't know. I've seen some tweets today about LeBron. One said this should happen now that he's in the situation. He's like he wish it didn't, which I'm like that's contradicting, dude. You're tripping. But if you're gonna be in this situation, you play whatever cards are dealt your way, and you handle business like you always have.
Right.
Don't say, oh, it's dumb. Like why? And everybody else got to do it, just like the bubble last year. It is what it is. But you got to go in and handle it. But if he's not healthy for those 3 games, that's really scary.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? You don't know if the Lakers going to pull it out or not. But with the healthy LeBron, obviously you think he should blow through those last 10 and 11 or 8 and 9 or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, you already know. Like, if he's healthy, it doesn't even really matter. But, like, he's just frustrated, like, more or less than anything. Like, because I think, like, a healthy LeBron, if he was in that position, he'd be like, fuck it, I'll take it on.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And he'll go.
Right.
But,
And
like, right now,
demolish.
but at the
Go
same
crazy.
time, with him sitting on the bench and, like, not being 110%, like, that man's just frustrated about the situation and then
Mhm.
kind of lashed out.
No,
So,
for sure. And with in the West right now, the 5th is Dallas, the Lakers are 6th, and Portland is 7th. They're all 10 games back, so it's
What's the difference between them?
They're all tied at 10 games behind. So really, any one person wins a game, one person loses. If Portland was to win a game in Dallas and the Lakers didn't play, they jump up to 5th, and they're at 7th currently.
Wow.
It's that close between all 3 of them.
So I understand his frustration. But I'm like, you just got back home and you got to
Right.
chill out. You know what I mean? Let's just take it for what it is.
And they play the Nuggets tonight.
You know,
The Lakers do.
Jesus.
see.
Hopefully we'll see. But Drummond been playing well, so hopefully they can pick up some slack. Wesley Matthews is hurt still, I believe, unless he came back. But outside of that, I mean, you just got to rock. Anthony Davis got to step up and do his thing. I was watching the other day. I'm like, dude, you look like you're not even excited. You know what I'm saying? You're not even playing with no enthusiasm type of thing. I'm like, you're a defending champion, dude. You got to go out all out. You just got back. So hopefully he wake up a little bit.
Yeah, man.
Same time, they're going to have to figure out how to play with Drummond and
Yeah.
get him out of the paint a little bit because I feel like that's what Anthony's struggling with right now is, like, trying to play with him because that man sits in the paint a little too much.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
like, this is kind of where I think I was a little wrong, and they should have kind of went for LaMarcus Aldridge to where he can stretch the floor.
Right.
And he gives Anthony all that room to where he can do what he does and be
Get
special.
to the paint if he wants to. 100%, man. The Bucks and I think it was the Bucks and the Nets last night had a pretty good game, man. And to me, it was kind of obviously nothing don't mean nothing until you get to the playoffs. But with it being so close and them trying to get the first seed, I think the Nets are in first and the Bucks are at third. But Kevin Durant had 42 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, and Giannis had 49 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists.
Yeah.
I mean, how are you feeling about that with just like the matchups and I guess kind of seeing what could possibly be a potential Eastern Conference? Yeah.
I think like Antetokounmpo, I was watching it a little bit, and the fact that he's coming around on his jump shot's really gonna help him improve towards the end. Because if he can make a jump shot, then you can't gap him as much as you used to. But if you look at the stats and the situations, like the Bucks team is nowhere as good as the Nets team, starting 5 anyway.
Right.
And so for KD to have those numbers with those players, that stuff comes easy. And Antetokounmpo really got to work for a lot of that. You know, take a real big banging. But my issue is the Bucks have been in the playoffs fighting already. The Nets have never been there yet together. No matter how great they are, you still got to come to the playoffs, and people are different in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Antetokounmpo come with it on a whole nother level, go for 59. You see what I'm saying? And you never, if Kyrie don't play or whatever, but KD versus Antetokounmpo, obviously the matchup for the future. Like, that's going to be the two guys that after LeBron retires that you're like, okay, those cats is going at it. Then after that, it'll be whoever, you know, we think it's going to be. But I think it really shows the growth in Antetokounmpo and what he could do if you put people around him if he becomes a jump shooter.
Right.
Because if he becomes a jump shooter, all that putting on the floor, all that nonsense he got to do. He doesn't have to do so often, but when he does, he can start sharing to his teammates, stop and pop, things of that nature. But KD's just a monster. He's an automatic bucket, like 2 assists. He ain't passing. You see what I'm saying? And that's okay. But if it's just, I look at it like KD's healthy. There's not a man on the planet really, if he's on offense, that can mess with him.
Right.
And that's just the reality of the situation. And if he come with it, then the Nets have every chance to make it to the finals.
Mm-hmm.
But if Antetokounmpo can find a way to kind of deter him from being as successful as he is, it can help the Bucks really go a long way. Because James Harden's who he is. Kyrie, you never know what's going on with my man, but they ain't been back in a while. So for them to come with it, it's gonna be fun to see.
Oh yeah, man. L?
See, my biggest thing is just if they can get past all the injuries and are they gonna stay healthy throughout the playoffs?
Bucks or the Nets?
The Nets,
Okay.
you already know.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even a question.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, we haven't seen them play together all year except for 7 games.
Mm-hmm.
So we really don't know what we're getting. At the same time, we don't know if they're going to stay healthy, especially with James coming back from his hamstring. All it takes is him taking the wrong one little step, and obviously he's going to do it. Just kind of like with LeBron's situation right now.
Mm-hmm.
So
Hamstring touchy,
yeah.
especially for a guy who's as ball dominant as him. You know what I'm
Fast
saying?
twitch.
The way he plays, all that he gotta. Tighten up. It's over with. And in my opinion, if you lose him, James Harden, then you really drop a lot because you ain't really got too many bench players that can come with it. And then is Dinwiddie coming back or no?
Not this season, I don't
so-
believe.
So if he's done for the year, I'm like, what do you do? You see what I'm saying? You got to play Blake Griffin. He's older than molasses. You know what I'm saying? And then DeAndre Jordan, we ain't ever seen him shoot nothing, never. So I don't know. It's really crazy to think if they don't all come together and they don't win, it's probably the biggest blow ever in any team ever assembled.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to say, like I said, it was a good game. I watched it pretty much from start to finish. Especially now that I got that NBA League Pass shit, I be having one game on the phone, one game on TV type shit. And, man, I've seen Giannis try to guard KD, and I'm thinking, damn near 2 7-footers, and one's outstretching his arm on the other one, and he's just still knocking them mugs down, just quack, quack. And I'm like, fuck, what do you do?
Yeah,
This is the most mobile, lengthy dude that you could possibly want to guard Kevin Durant, and he's still giving them that work. And Giannis plays good defense. He won Defensive Player of the Year with MVP type, So, that's tough. But the way that he kept playing, Giannis, and I would say the Bucks are definitely giving him some help with, I think it's Byron Forbes or whatever. He played for the Spurs last year. He's been a real good knockdown shooter for them. And if they can just keep surrounding him with shooters, man, because, it's kind of like last year, Giannis was basically where Zion is now. Has no shooters around him. He can get to the basket at will. But now that you're getting, Brook Lopez could step out and hit that three.
Yeah.
Bobby Portis, I think, is leading the league in 3-point percentage right now. Bobby Portis.
That's crazy.
And you got it's Dante DiVincenzo, Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday, and like I said, that Byron Forbes kid. They got a nice little team.
Yeah, but the Nets, they picked up that European dude, and that kid been getting to it.
Yeah,
straight up.
Mike James.
Yeah, and so my thing is if he can
He's
come
nice.
around, you know what I'm saying, that might help with that James Harden injury if he stay hurt. But that little dude gets to. I've been watching some stuff like that man be doing some wild European plays. Little hook, right hand hook, crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Steps to the left, all of that. I'm
High
like,
off the glass
Yeah,
type.
I'm like, that's nice. A lot of European guys, you don't see them transition like that. And the only one that really had was Luka. But then you got that dude, he coming out doing some stuff you see messing around at the park type thing,
Right.
which is nice. But that's what you kind of get from James Harden too, is an unorthodox game. And if you can just transition to one of the two, hopefully you can take some of that slack. If it gives James Harden a little longer to get healthy.
Okay. So next, moving on, like I brought up earlier, the injuries, and we talked about LeBron's injuries. A few episodes back, we talked about if this would be the season for another team to step in and win it all.
Yeah.
And I think especially now, we don't have as many COVID cases. Obviously, we have some health protocol shit here and there, but we have just a lot of people hurt right now. Is this a year that someone else can sneak in and win the finals? And if who? I said top 5 teams that come to mind, but if you want to just give your top 3 teams that are outside of the Lakers, the Nets, because those are really a lot of the big name teams that are taking a lot of hits. So who do you think could sneak up in there and, right now?
Me personally, I'd probably say The Utah Jazz
Mhm.
would be a sleeper. Denver, if they made it there, they have obviously the best big in the league, but they have the pieces to really, in a situation like this, take over the West
Mhm.
and run with it, depending on how they structure their offense from moving forward. But on the East, I'm looking at it like, man, who would I say is the sleeper over there? You know what I'm saying? I just can't really confidently say no one because I don't feel like anybody outside the Nets and the Bucks is like super dominant. You see what I'm saying? But I would say my two would be Denver or Utah, right? And I would say, the Suns would blow everybody's mind. But with Chris Paul, and this is just how I feel, his time has come to where he can get to the game. And then when he gets there, we'll see what happens.
Right.
Right. But I say those three would probably be my sleepers.
Okay. Ayo.
I was like, I don't even know if you can call the Suns a sleeper since they're the 1 seed right now.
I just say it because of,
Yeah, they've never been.
like they go from the 10 last year to the 2 to the 1. You see what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
if you're talking about a new team, the team that's been going is any team LeBron's on, any team KD's on, any team Kyrie's on. Like that's
Giannis.
usually you see what I'm saying? That's usually who's in the finals, except for obviously the Heat last year.
Right. That would have been a fluke. But ayo.
I guess since you West, I'll go East. I guess my biggest one right now would be Boston.
Oh,
Definitely
okay.
one.
Yeah.
Since, they've been kind of iffy all season. And then no one's really thinking about them right now. But I feel like if they can pull it all together, they're definitely a team to, like,
Look out for.
They're starting to play
look out
well.
for.
They're starting to play well.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
definitely. Washington.
Ooh, shit.
Wow, that's
Washington can catch
All the way from
somebody.
left field.
that's left field
Washington
for real.
Okay,
son.
I like that. I like
mean,
that. That's a
you
bold
are-
take.
You already know Russ is getting a triple double. Regardless, he's giving you 152%.
He ain't in the West no more, so yeah, very possible.
But the thing is,
Yeah.
when he does a triple double, it's like his winning percentage is high, like 84 or something like that. He wins his games. That's crazy.
That's what I'm saying. Just
Yeah.
like give him and then Bradley Beal. Just they have a chance. That's what I'm saying.
But the rest of their teammates are bad. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I hate to say it, like their team is really bad. Like they sent my homie sent a roster the other day, and I was just like, wow. I mean, these cats, you have two of the greatest in the league playing with just kind of nobodies.
Yeah, Gafford, Robin Lopez. I mean, Ryu Hachimura is their third best player.
You see what I'm saying? Like, what?
Mm-hmm.
So the Wizards, that's left hard.
Okay. Anybody else?
The third, I guess we'll go with Charlotte.
Ooh.
Yes, sir.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
That'd be
man.
dope, though, wouldn't it?
You already know Gordon Hayward and Scary Terry are playing out their minds right
Yeah,
now.
I like
And definitely with LaMelo back, and then just having him around. I don't know what he does for them, but like he makes it fun for them to play.
Yeah,
I
he
guess.
does.
So
He's a great facilitator. I think that's the big thing for
Man,
them.
very
He's a
underrated.
phenomenal passer, dude. Like,
Oh, yeah.
for real. And then he gets buckets when he needs to. But Gordon Hayward playing well this year, so
Mm-hmm.
he
He's
can
still
take some-
coming off that injury right now. I think he's been out the last few games, but man, I would challenge you when you get the free time just to watch the way they play. Like, it's different because they don't run. Like they have a 5, but it's like Miles Bridges and PJ Washington are their 4 and 5, and they can shoot the outside and they're fast enough to go around any big.
Yeah.
And then when you kick it out, you have Gordon Hayward, Terry Rozier, LaMelo, Devontae Graham. Like, it's ridiculous. I love it.
I had to check it out.
I'm gonna have to send you one, but I'm gonna piggyback on that one. That one would definitely be Charlotte. Is one of my favorite teams to watch right now. Them and the Pelicans are probably my 2 favorite up and coming teams. But
Oh, God, the Pelicans. Jesus.
they're fighting for that last spot. But I would say Charlotte. I'm gonna say Charlotte. In the West, I've been a Chris Paul fan, so I really want the Suns to win, man, just so he can get his. Cause it's tough, man. You know, people talk about the way they do about Russ, and you know he hasn't won a ring. But my boy Chris Paul, you throw him up in the top 5 point guards possibly all time with no ring. So it's just like I want him to get that because I know what he's. You know, I've been a fan since he was on the New Orleans Hornets. Then he went to the Clippers. Like, Chris Paul is that guy. I've always liked the way he plays the game, and I think he, even for being a small guard, a 6-foot guard, whatever, like he plays good defense.
Mm-hmm.
Knows how to manipulate the game. Like, it's beautiful to watch him play basketball. I put it like that.
But the impact he makes on the team, you look at it like, if he made that change, they should at least get a shot at it. And that would be crazy just for him, you know, because it'd be time for him to make it. That'd be cool. But like, Me and my buddies got on the Russ CP3 conversation the other day for hours. Am I lying, Alex? We was in a group for hours, like 4 hours arguing about CP3 and Russ.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a legitimate good argument because people have, they like Russ, they like CP3. But if you're talking about me, I'm like, Russ CP3 36 years old, 35 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And he took the Suns, who wasn't even a playoff team last year, essentially, to the number one team in the West, and that fast. In the West, we're talking about the toughest side conference by far. And you just turn them around that quick. No matter who they added, it does not matter. The addition of him makes that team seem just unreal now.
Mm-hmm.
Like the winning is expected in Phoenix. Now when you don't see him on the schedule, you don't think that's an automatic win.
Right.
You like, dang, we got to really go in here and battle. Only because CP3 has taught them cats how to win and led them in the way. So I just think it's time for him to get his, especially during the time like we're in right now. He might be able to slide in and do something.
No, for real, man. And then if we're gonna go for who's actually gonna win it, I would probably say the Nuggets. But man, Steph Curry's been kind of playing out his ass down there in Golden State.
Yeah,
It's been crazy.
he's incredible, man.
Like I've been the biggest Steph hater for the longest time. Like,
why?
He's good, but when it's the Russ, when it was the Oklahoma City versus the Warriors type thing,
There's no chance.
Yeah, but see, I'm like, Russ is gonna lock his ass up.
Yeah,
but,
right.
Yeah, nah.
The issue you have with that is that time you lock him up. Now who dealing with Clay?
That's true.
You see what I'm saying? He goes 60. Was it the Thunder he went get 60 on?
Probably something.
He was feeding them. You see what I'm saying? And it's just, you never see that duo ever again. You got CJ and Dame, but it just isn't like them two.
Right.
And we'll never ever see another shooter like Steph.
No.
And it's amazing what he's doing right now, for real.
And with no Clay. People could say, oh, blah, 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 but he's still getting – I don't care.
People dog his roster, but his roster's not as bad as people make it seem. You got Kelly Oubre, Draymond Green, and Andrew Wiggins.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what else could you really ask for outside of Clay?
Right.
People dogging, like, he playing with nobody. So I'm like, okay, he's playing with a champion, one of the best guys in his draft, and then Kelly Oubre, who's very growing in the NBA.
Very much so.
Y'all saying he playing with nobody. So don't discredit them. But that man is doing some unbelievable things.
Yeah, man. And that's who I would say for now. But definitely next year, with them having Draymond Green, Steph, Clay, James Wiseman, like you're gonna have to stretch the floor, and you're gonna have to let whoever go around you, because if not, it can get real ugly next year.
I got asked this question the other day. Does that make them automatically one of the front runners to win next year?
Absolutely.
If Clay come back.
No.
See, you?
Right. I say yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Why you say no?
No, I just feel like it's at that point because Clay's coming off of 2 injuries and hasn't played in 2-3 years.
Yeah.
So for this man to be a lead defender like he was, Draymond's still a bum, and then just their surrounding cast is not the same.
I would say they have a better 5-man finally, but what the wording my friend used was championship culture.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, they had a championship culture run.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very 5-6 year run. They lost a lot of those championship teammates.
Mm-hmm.
So you talking about Iggy,
Sean Livingston,
Leonardo Barboza,
mm-hmm.
David Lee, Andrew Bogut. You lost a lot of guys that was on that team.
Mm-hmm.
Not starting, but on the team. Your bench now is legitimately a bunch of nobodies.
Mm-hmm.
And so you talking about championship culture. Those cats don't know how to be champions.
Right.
Those other ones, y'all built championships together. Mm-hmm. So that's why I'm like, y'all don't understand. Clay might come back, yeah. But when Clay used to go out back then, you could put Sean Livingston in, he'd get to it. You could put in Barboza, get in, he'd get to it.
Mm-hmm.
Now you take him out, you put in some random guy. That's just not the same effect.
Right. No, and I agree with you there. At first, I wasn't a big fan of that Jordan Poole kid that they had drafted a few years ago, but he's playing a little better. But I'll put it like this, especially with the way that they play a lot of help defense, especially knowing that Steph isn't the best. I think Clay will come back, not be as elite defender, but it's still just the shot, the ability to pull from a few feet behind the three. You know what I'm saying? They'll give him some leeway. But if you go Steph, Clay, Kelly Oubre, Draymond, and James Wiseman, and then that's what I'm saying. And then you go to the offseason, you can pick up a few of these veteran pieces the way like a lot of these teams are trying to do. So there's no real telling, man. I like it. I think they could definitely be up there next year, so long as people aren't getting as hurt as they are this year for sure. Now we can switch it over to the other side, man. We can get into the turf, the grass, man. NFL draft just happened a few days ago, man, and We can talk. Just go around the table. I'll start with UAO first. Do you feel like your team or teams made the best acquisitions for themselves?
Oh, definitely. Both of them. Like, I love Patrick Surtain
Mhm.
with the Denver Broncos. Definitely stealing.
You're a
one from-
Broncos fan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I told you them and Dak.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, definitely love that.
Mhm.
And then, like, what we did later on in the draft, definitely.
Okay.
Nice additions, and then especially Michael Parsons in the first round for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Like, that's a great pickup. Put him at an edge rusher, kind of like Von Miller, and just let him go at it.
Yeah, I
So-
seen some of his highlights. He's crazy.
Dude's a freak. I'm a Dallas fan through and through. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? And the fact that we drafted defensive guys made the draft for me worth it.
Mhm.
Okay, we paid too many people on offense. We got too many pieces on offense. We fixed our offensive line a little bit. Okay, we'll be fine. Back to normal on that. Dak comes back healthy, cool. But as you see, it doesn't help that if we score 35, another team score 38, we lose.
Mhm.
We have now the tallest secondary in the NFL, height-wise.
Mhm.
Okay, I don't think that's ever been a thing in Dallas. So even that we drafted a few guys, it showed that they're starting to care about the secondary a little bit. You got the linebacker you needed because Van Esch is always hurt. So you're like, okay, you got to replace him. So now our front seven, hopefully healthy, will be back to doing what we do. If they can just find a couple secondary pieces out of that draft, it's going to help us win the division again comfortably, right? Give Dak some leeway to relax a little bit so he doesn't have to be on offense so often. And then I was just happy with the fact that I feel like Jerry Jones didn't water down our draft this year. He kind of let the coaches do what they do. So from a Dallas Cowboy fan standpoint, I was happy with it.
Okay. Me, I'm definitely torn. If I had to pick two of my teams for now, it obviously Atlanta with Julio, big Julio fan, and Dolphins. You know, was a Ricky Williams fan early, all that stuff like that.
Dolphins.
Yes, sir. But so anyways, it's tough because you know if Julio goes, I'm going wherever Julio.
How
goes.
you feel about that?
What? Who
How
they
you feel?
drafted?
No, how you feel about the fact that they're thinking about trading Julio?
I honestly think once they said that they were drafting a fucking tight end instead of some defensive players, he was like, man, get me the fuck out of here. we're gonna score 60 and give up 70. Like,
Right. The same boat we in, kind of.
you know. So, I mean, he might stay because it might again. If you have all them out there on the field, you have Calvin Ridley, Julio Jones. If Todd Gurley comes back, you have Todd Gurley and Julio.
Yeah.
So yeah, Todd Gurley, Julio, Calvin Ridley, and Kyle Pitts.
Yeah.
Like that's a big ass offense right there.
But in football, I think truly defense wins championships in football for sure.
Hell yeah.
And that's why obviously Atlanta the last couple of times have been in the situation, the defense has killed them.
Every time we be up 21-24, lose it after second half.
Yeah.
Just
Who the Dolphins draft?
Dolphins, they got Jalen Waddle
Oh, okay.
from Alabama. I like him. You know what I'm saying? I'm obviously Tua. I'm Alabama as well.
Yeah.
Big fan. So I'm just hoping that they can surround him because I know everybody's been like, I don't know if Tua's it.
Right.
They might need to trade him. They might need it. But, I mean, he's got an arm. He plays the right way. He just needs some pieces, man. You send him there with nobody.
Right.
What's his name? Willie Snead or whoever the
Yeah.
fuck they signed. Like, he's cool.
Yeah.
Well, nobody
not
was talking about Willie Snead.
Elite.
Like that.
Yeah, you need an elite guy.
Yeah, that's like my saying that we signed Kenny Stills again. Like,
Yeah.
no offense, but it's
Right.
like, yeah, man. So I'm just hoping again that, you know, everyone stays healthy. Julio can stay healthy. He's been injury prone the last few seasons. I mean, he's 32, 33.
Yeah.
Man's been getting up there in age. So I don't know. I'm just hoping they get right. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much it, man. What rookie would y'all say that got drafted are you most excited for? And who are you most excited to see play, and who you think will make the biggest impact for their team right away?
I'd be excited to see that North Dakota State guy.
Trey Lance?
Yeah, I would like to see him flourish because of his situation. You know, and I think if he gets the opportunity to play and does well, I would love to see that. You see what I'm saying? Because obviously his conference is slept on, so nobody really gives it too much respect.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that he has always won the way he's won, how you discredit that? You see what I'm saying? And I think just, you know, from impact-wise, the guy we drafted, Parsons, is going to be really dynamic for our defense because I feel like Jalen Smith kind of fell off a little bit. So now he can bring them back and they start to figure it out and because he got paid and start sucking.
Mm-hmm.
So now we got a rookie come in and hopefully make him realize you need to earn your money. It'll get him back going and have our defense rocking again.
Okay, yeah.
See, I'm definitely gonna have to go with Justin Fields just because after like all the scrutiny
Yeah,
and
that's
everything,
crazy.
I can't wait to see this man prosper, and especially with the defense up there.
Mhm.
Like, you're always going to be in every game, like every week.
Right.
And you already know with his talent level, he's going to, like, beat out Andy Dalton. I just see that happening, and
Yeah.
then he's probably going to start week 1, and then hopefully they
That would
take
be
off from
crazy.
there. And then another one I kind of want to see is Najee Harris
Mhm.
and see how he definitely does with Pittsburgh, because you already know that's what they needed last year, and that's what they're missing. And I want to see if he's like that actual key piece
Mhm.
that pushes them like across the edge.
Yeah.
See, I want to see Najee, but I'm tired of Big Ben. Like I'm just like he can't help you, bro. He's old as dirt himself.
Yeah.
Like he's not moving. He's not getting first. Like this man played when they had Hines Ward and Jerome Bettis. Like, bro, when you think about how long Troy Polamalu, like,
elite.
bro, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And there's no diss. You know, I'm a big Bucs fan, but it's just like they need a new quarterback.
But Tom
ASAP.
Brady's not helping the situation playing until he's 45.
Right. Well,
So
if
he's
you're
like-
winning,
Yeah, so he's like, hey, man, keep playing. You good. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? I'm like, all right, cool.
right?
But Big Ben been hurt way too often. He's slow, gaining weight. You know what I'm saying? It's just,
You
he's
can-
just collecting a check now.
Yeah, you
Man.
can go send Andy Dalton over there or some shit. Like, it'd be better. At least he can move. But if I had to say who I'm most excited for, it's tough. But I would definitely want to see how Devontae Smith does in
Oh,
Philly
yeah?
with Jalen Hurts.
I like that.
Just because, you know, everyone's talking about how he's too underweight and he's too small. And I mean, regardless of what you say, the man won a Heisman. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? At receiver.
Yeah.
Not Julio Jones, not Amari Cooper, you know, not DK Metcalf.
Yeah.
Like, this man at 160 pounds was out here dusting y'all shit, and you just disrespect him coming in. You know, kind of the same with the Justin Fields thing. I mean,
Right.
I like Jalen Waddle, obviously, and all that, but you got this man dropping to wherever he got picked over, and y'all took Jalen Waddle and a couple other receivers, if I'm not mistaken. But it's just like, I'm just hoping that Alabama connection with him and Jalen Hurts pushes them to do a little something. And the person I think will definitely make an impact ASAP would probably be Trevor Lawrence. I'm hoping. I like just the way he's played since he was at Clemson. Just
Yeah.
very tactician. Can get a little loose if he has to get a first down. But it's tied, bro. I don't think he'll make the biggest impact. I might need to put this as who I'm excited to see. It'll be Mac Jones in New England.
Really?
Just to see, because you know, they are talking about someone that can run Belichick's system, and he's a little bit more athletic than Tom Brady, but this is their whatever, the heir to the throne.
Prototypical,
Yeah, well, after Tom Brady, this is what they wanted. So it'll be
But Bill Belichick came out and said Cam Newton's our quarterback.
right.
And so I don't know how it's kind of hard to have a guy come in and want to be Tom Brady when you're coaching Cam Newton.
Right.
So it's like his transition is going to be different
Mhm.
because then Bill Belichick had to go back to the drawing board and get it fit for Mac.
Yep.
So, you know, it's just hard from that situation. But when you talk about Ertz and Adams, and you look at it like he was a MVP or he was a Heisman
Heisman.
Trophy winner, right?
Mhm.
But can Jalen throw him the ball
Mhm.
like he needs to? That's where I get stuck. Okay, he's gonna get open. Is Jalen gonna put it there? Now, did he pass well last year? Yes, but when they were together in Alabama, obviously it wasn't going as it should.
Right.
And I don't know how confident people are in Jalen's arm.
Mhm.
You know, his feet get busy. He makes good decisions, but can he throw the deep ball?
Right.
See, and so I feel like that hopefully it doesn't hurt him because it'd be like Deshaun Jackson. Remember back in the day, he'll dust you, but only Michael Vick could get it to him.
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody else, they can't put it where they need to. You see what I'm saying? So I think that's where you got a dynamic receiver like that. You got to have someone that can make that deep ball throw.
Absolutely, man. And so we're going to go right into our halftime, man. But this is one I think is definitely overdue. Probably should have done it a few podcasts earlier. But just, you know, we all love football, basketball, whatever. You know, what was the first sport you fell in love with, man? What was your kind of intro to this whole sport world?
Mine has always been basketball,
Mhm.
mainly because my dad played. He liked to play. All my cousins played. It was like a neighborhood game, play out on the street, all that type of stuff. But I loved football, but it was just I was naturally good at football just because my size and my strength and my speed, all that type of stuff was natural. Basketball was a real life challenge, and then being myself, the stature I have, I had to learn how to first play the game, understand the game, and then how to use my body and what I do well within the game. So the reason why I love it is because my dad was a big supporter of it. You know, I'm a big football fan in the NFL, but when it comes to straight basketball, it's something like my family loves. You see what I'm saying? So I've always been a big basketball lover just because everything it entails impacted my life so heavily from a young age.
Yeah, yo.
So yeah, I'd definitely say basketball, like just coming straight out the womb. Like, and my parents put me like in basketball since I was 4, and like I was just literally that kid that went outside every single day, like at the gym. I mean, at the court by itself. Just out there shooting for hours and hours and hours and hours. And then if people are there, you know, run a little pickup. But it's always just been basketball with me. And like he said, like I've just been naturally like gifted with football, so I also played that too. But it was just like I never had that same love or same passion. It was just always basketball for me.
Oh yeah, man. My first love would probably have to have been football. We were a big football family. Grandma was a Dallas Cowboy fan.
Shout out to Grandma.
Yeah, man. Grandpa, he was a Chiefs fan.
Sorry.
Yeah, so I mean, not now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say not now. But man, football. If you know my dad is just. He's really a freak of nature, man. Like, he's one of the main reasons. He's the only guy I can see at 6'2", 240 or something like that can get taken completely off his feet and land on him and still be able to just take off like it's nothing. And he's just good at everything. So just seeing, like, his highlight film, seeing some of his old newspaper clippings from him and his cousins, like, getting recruited by Auburn, getting recruited by all these different places. And I was naturally just gifted, I say, like, y'all, at football. Like, it's, to me, it was never hard. Like, throwing a football, catching a football, it's, to me, I was better at wide receiver than I was at quarterback because our team wasn't the best. I had to play quarterback. But to me, at receiver, it's just like, I just got to know that I'm faster than you, and I'm going to dust your ass. But we had nobody that could give me the ball, so I had to play quarterback the whole time in Little League. And then high school, it's definitely when basketball took over for me. I don't know, man. It was just a different type of world, seeing people flying through the air, seeing dudes pulling, you know, the 30-foot threes weren't big when we were playing, you know, obviously. I came like a year or two after, but yeah, man, that basketball just do something different to you. I'm going to let y'all go, though, but I want to know what's like a memory that you have of yourself at any point in time, whether it be elementary school to now, and then what's a memory you have of someone else, or just like, that sport that you love, or you know what I'm saying, what was a moment for you?
There was a game when I was young, we called it Toilet Bowl. So when I was in high school at this time, our team wasn't the greatest, so we were playing like a 7th place game. But I'm like a freshman, sophomore, I don't remember which one specifically, but we're playing Del City, who's another rival team or whatever, and I actually know the coach now that I'm older on a personal level, but
right.
So we playing and we not doing well, so coach got tired of the seniors and he subbed us young cats in. So me and 2 of my homies get subbed in. We get into it, and I don't know what's going on, but this game I'm just getting busy. Like, what's up? Hit a 3, boom. Hit a post feed, boom. Hit another 3. They call timeout. All I remember hearing is coach say, "Who's gonna guard the fat kid? Who's gonna guard the fat kid?" Right? And I'm over here laughing. And you know me, I'm mad. Like, ain't nobody guard me, coach.
Yeah.
So we go back out. I might hit another 3 or something, and I'm turned up. So you know me, I'm turned up, going crazy. We end up winning that game in that situation. So from then on moving forward, obviously the seniors started, but then like, you know, as soon as they got time, he would get them up out of there and then play us. So that was probably one of my funnest. I tell you that story all the time. Like that's one of those things. As a big guy, you could say that, coach. I'm happy you saying that, so because you letting people know I'm busting y'all.
Right.
Not none of my teammates. You saying I'm giving y'all the business. So that was Coach Dukes. If anybody knows him, old Dukes, that's my guy. You know what I'm saying? I actually golf with him at the golf course sometimes.
Shout out Coach Dukes, man.
But yeah, that was hilarious. But if you talk about it, a time I played, we're playing Del City High School when I'm a senior, and we're at Del City. This year, my senior year, we're actually pretty good. Start the season, we're thinking like 4-1, 5-1 or something. So we go to Del City, and you know, usually a Del City, Miller City school against a Moore school, you usually losing. Like realistically, it's just a situation. But we come in like, nah, yeah, you know what I'm saying? What's good? So we playing them, whatever, and we winning. So it's kind of frustrating them. And they push my little homie. And at this time, he's miniature. You see what I'm saying? They pushing him like he not really hood enough to handle what they got coming if it get to that. So I'm on the floor. I'm like, hey, man, y'all better chill out. You see what I'm saying? We can get out, whatever. No, it's cool. So we go to the end. Bam. We getting it in. And I remember they swung to my little homie. He shoots a 3. Bam. He makes it. We end up winning. So the cops had to walk us to the bus because it was just one of those things, right? And, you know, we go to school kind of some suburban kids to an extent. You know, got half and half. And at this time, you know, the little throw up the foes thing or whatever that was back in the day, my teammates, they get on the knees and stuff, and they start doing that. I'm like, hey, man, y'all need to get up and get on this bus. You know what I'm saying? You was tripping because I know I get down. Right. I don't know if none of y'all go get with it, you know what I'm saying? But that was one of the biggest wins because then they came to our house, and they had beat us by one of my teammates missing a free throw. So they beat us by 1. And I remember one of their players ran in our student section was like, I told y'all it's a fluke. I told y'all it was a fluke. And I'm like, he just missed 2 out of 3 free throws. That's the only reason we lost.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So we crossed the hands or whatever. But that was one of my funnest moments against that program in both ways.
Hell yeah, man. Hey, yo, what you got, man?
I think one of my favorite memories I can think about is probably actually from playing football. Like, because, like, my senior year, we got to start our season like playing on the OU's football field, and then playing against Norman High.
North High.
Cross town, what do you call it, rivalry?
Yes, sir.
And then my year, luckily we made it to the state championship, and we got to end our season playing at OSU.
Really?
Yeah. So I got to play on both of those, and then at summer we played at the Tulsa, camp. So I got to play at all 3, D1 like football schools up there.
That's cool.
That's
from my senior year. So definitely was a fun time for me.
Hell yeah, man. Anybody, you got any stories of anybody else that you watched or may have, you know, like one of those in awe moments from early on or till now?
I think one of my favorite in awe moments, I guess I'll put it with Mason. Just the first time I actually saw this little man go off and like score 20 points in a game, and just seeing his aggression and finally after all the years of me and him working and finally all coming through, and you can actually see it on the progression. So definitely the first time the man scored 20, it was a beautiful sight to see because that man was buns in middle school, I'll say it. Yeah, but he's been putting in the work over the years, and my little man's respectable, and then hopefully be starting varsity next year. So we'll see what we can make.
Shout out Mason, man. Keep going. Man, my story would definitely translate, man, because it's funny because I'm only, 6 foot. So, but at the time in junior high, we're playing Brink, close game, whatever. The coach is talking to me, and he's trying to tell us what to do because I think it's I'd hit 4 threes that game. 4 or 5 threes, and we were going it's me, Jaleel Arion, Tate, and I don't even remember who else at the center at the 5, but we're going, and he's talking to me over here, and then he just starts yelling at me and starts pointing, so I turn and look, and the dude I'm guarding is gone. They inbounding. He's over here. Some dude's trying to set a screen. I run behind him, and this little dude, he was probably 4'5", bro, was busting our ass, and he shoots. And I just remember just jumping, and it wasn't me swinging like I usually do. I just put my hand up there at perfect time, and I felt the ball hit my hand, and I just pushed that motherfucker to the crowd, and everybody starts going crazy. And then I just see my dad look at me, and he's just like, tell him, get it out of here, bitch. And I'm just like, get it out of here, bitch. But that would translate because, like I said, now, I mean, y'all know me when I was, in high school, I played center at 6 foot. You know what I'm saying? I was guarding the Shaq Morrises and all those 6'8" monsters, Dorians. So we're playing Dale City, and Dale City was good at one point, but at this point they was ass.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So we're playing them. We're up so bad. I'm actually getting the game. So I'm just like, fuck it, man. I'm about to make the best out of it. So all I remember is they get a steal. And Brett from Del City, I ain't gonna put his name out because he might get salty. Brett gets it, and one of his dudes is kind of in front of me, and he's finna try to go dunk. And y'all know how I play. I'm trying to get every block. I'm trying to do whatever. So I'm running, his dude's down there, and he tries to slow and stop in front of me. So all my momentum's gone, and Brett's coming from the left side of the field, or the court. I had to run around his dude, turn around, jump straight, and I had 2 steps. That's all I could get before he got to the rim. And Brett takes off, boom. And then I jump up, we're about even. And he could see that we're about even. This dude tried to cock it back on me. So what did my dumb ass do? I cocked my hand back too. And bro, when I tell you, all you heard was bing from the sound of the basketball, because I smacked the shit out of it. We got it. We was right there in midair. Came down. And when I came down, I guess we bumped hips, bro, and they called a foul. I ain't never been, the coach was even mad, but I was just like, bro, the whole student section was SWAT team. And I'm over here hyped in a mug, like, yeah, bro, you don't know who the fuck you dunking on. You just think because I come off the bench, I'm like that. Boy. But one of my favorite plays would have to be in football. KJ Mo, I got more stories of y'all, of course. But this one, Derek Harris, man, white boy. Coldest on the team, bro. No lie. He could play every position. Yeah. We're playing Southmore senior year, and it's going crazy. You know, it's actually a close game. Like, we getting to it. And so we're coming out of halftime, and the light shut off in the stadium. Just poof. KJ's in the back just dancing. They still got the music playing. We just getting ignorant because it's like we finna beat we finna beat Southmore. Yeah. And man, so they get the lights going again. You know, we yelling at Derek, run this shit back, Derek. Run that shit back, Derek. And they kick it out, boom. Derek was caught that mug, hit a few, squirted out to the outside and was just gone. I mean, but this man played receiver, he played quarterback, he played safety. He was just so cold, bro. And for that game, because we're more, bro. Yeah. If you know more football history, I mean, shit. We went on what, a 20-year drought from the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
in football. The squad I went to in 21 years.
Yeah, so see, 21 years, we ain't even make it to a playoff game, not until recently. Yeah. But Derek was he's just cold, bro. He was just one of those dogs that he wasn't stopping for shit. Yeah. He don't care who you was. We playing Midwest City, Jinx, he going full out.
Hard.
Yeah, man, he's nice. Gotta give my boy a shout out, D Hair, man, cold. Who was a person that inspired you to play whatever sport it was? Like, who was your biggest, like, it could have been someone you admired, someone you modeled your game after, but who was that person that's like, yeah, they got me. They're the real reason I do this shit. Like,
I mean, I used to wear his shoes, and it was Shaquille O'Neal. You see what I'm saying? He always,
Diesel.
I was young and big, so at the time it was like, there's only one guy I can resemble. But the way Shaq used to dominate things and the way he was funny and joking, but the way he played basketball was like, I love this dude. You know what I'm saying? Even now that I'm older, I'm like, I love him as a businessman, as a man in general. And that's for basketball. That's who made me love the game for what it was. I wore his number 34 before it changed. All that. You see what I'm saying? So on a football standpoint, I wore 52, and that was for Ray Lewis.
Right.
And the way Ray Lewis handled himself, you see what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to ruin your world, but I'll help you up at the same time.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I love my teammates for everything they are. This is the culture I wanted to build. So those two are what really inspired me to do the sports I loved. You see, and Shaq would probably be the top dog of this decision because I just wanted to be like him. That was before I stopped growing, so then I had to learn how to shoot.
Right.
When I'm young, I'm like, okay, I can learn these post moves. Obviously, I wasn't ever go dunk or nothing, but it was like, I'm going to make a layup, you're not stopping me, all that type of thing. So Shaq was probably, guaranteed my favorite inspiration when it comes to playing basketball.
Okay. Yeah.
See, I'd probably have two. Like, mine's kind of from the side, like, because growing up, I watched a lot of And1. So, like, the professor, he was definitely one of my inspirations. Because if you know, like, the way I play now, like, a lot of ball handling, and, like, it's just the craftiness, and I've always loved that. And another person is definitely Steph Curry. Like, but young Steph, like from Davidson.
Steph.
When I saw him when I was younger, like, because I've always been like just one of the shorter dudes on the team, and like I've always just been a 3-point shooter. So seeing him and how he was able to like just off the dribble shoot, scoring 30, and just like his size and stature, like obviously compared to everybody else, he looks a lot smaller, even though he's 6'3". But still seeing that, like, and understanding, like, damn, if I just do that, I can really get to it, and then just kind of modeling my games after them too. Definitely.
Oh yeah. If I really had to say like who kicked it off, like I'd really say my dad in both sports because he was just a freak athlete. Like could do everything: soccer, baseball, football, basketball. Like he just knew how to use his body in every aspect that he needed to. With basketball, he could post up. He knew he wasn't the greatest shooter, but he knew how to get to a certain spot. He knew how to get somewhere he could muscle you out. But if I had to go big names, it's so tough. Basketball, ooh. My mom's a big Jordan fan, but if I really had to say who I grew up watching, it'd probably be like Jason Williams.
Wow.
Jason Williams or Rondo. The way like Jason Williams, he can move so fast with the ball, and to just see somebody without seeing somebody and drop a cold ass dime like in a window, Like if you go back and watch some of his passing highlights, that is crazy.
It's impressive.
Yeah, just to have that vision, and like that's what I modeled my game after. Like I was never the best. Y'all know me. I've never been the best 3-point shooter. But I can pass my ass off.
That's fact.
I can pass my ass off. That's all I'm good at. I know how to draw two people and kick it. And it was watching, Rondo and Jason Williams for sure. Just seeing how they can manipulate the game to be like, okay, I'm gonna dribble over here just enough where your man has to help, and as soon as he does, I'm kicking it to you for a wide open three type. In football, man, it had to be Michael Vick just because I was a black quarterback, and I damn sure wasn't no Donovan McNabb. So I was just moving. I was just trying to see how he slipped through the pocket. He was like grease, boy. He just popped right through there. I mean, when he hit that he was running and dropped down on the knee and hit a spin move. I was like, what the fuck? Who does that?
It was impressive.
And to have a cannon, he might not have been the most accurate. No. Yeah, people talk about how he fumbled. But yes, could throw that mug 60 yards just standing there.
He'd throw that accurate.
Just bombs. And then if you try to play off and try to play the D ball, he's going to hit you for 10, 15 yards easy. Yeah. It's just crazy, man. So I definitely, like I said, basketball is a tie between Jason Williams and Rondo, and football definitely would have to be Michael Vick. I guess what advice, we talked about how us growing, our favorite things growing up and our favorite sports, but what is a piece of advice that you would give to your younger self, or maybe younger kids growing up trying to play the sports that you do?
From my experience, the advice I give my players now is understand that your coaches aren't against you. No matter who you're playing with, you know what I'm saying? A lot of parents, a lot of fans, a lot of people nowadays make it a negative connotation towards the coach, like it's the coach's fault. And realistically, you're the one that's playing. Mm-hmm. So understand that you put your feet on the floor, you got to handle business. Okay, I can only draw the picture. You got to fill in the lines type of thing. Mm-hmm. And so what I tell my players is no matter whatever coach is talking to you, just try your hardest to hear what they're saying and not how they're saying it. And that's a real big thing with me is I always used to listen to how he said it, not how he was meaning it. So I would lash out, fight back, argue, whatever, and that was the wrong thing to do. Mm-hmm. So as young players, as you get older and more mature, the easier it is for you to respect what the coach is doing and what he says. You got bad coaches in there, don't get me wrong. Right. But try your hardest to be the best coachable kid you possibly can, because it'll help you as a man for the future outside when that ball was bouncing. Mm-hmm. You see? And so I know saving me was the coaches never giving up on me and letting me know, like, your impact is huge on this team when your mind's right. Mm-hmm. And so I would say – I might not have played all the time. I might not have won every sprint. I might not have, certain things throughout practice, but being the person that was there for everybody, that could be the coach on the floor, that could help his teammates out, it really helped our program grow to what it was when I was able to leave. Mm-hmm. We went from 2 games when I was a freshman to 14 games in the playoffs when I was a senior. Mm-hmm. See, so we was respected by the time I left, and from my coaching tenure from when I left to now, it was respected the whole time I was there. So that's what I would tell young players is really try your hardest to understand being coachable is a good thing. Mm-hmm. Don't look at it as bad. Don't look at it as soft. It's a great thing to be a coachable kid.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, man. Hell.
I think the biggest thing for me would have to be like understand like off the court, you're gonna have to also put in work. It's not just on the court. Cause me, like I said, like growing up, I'd go spend hours and hours at the gym. But my problem would be I'd go home, eat a whole box of honey buns. Cause like when I was younger, I was closer to Tony's size. Like I was a little butter biscuit.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I was like, the biggest thing for me was like until I'd probably say my sophomore year and finally understanding like nutrition and like what the values of like taking care of yourself like outside of like the court and definitely doing that like can further you a lot more. Because like for me, like getting down to this weight and like starting to play changed like everything for me. So really just taking care of yourself.
Hell yeah, man. I definitely say don't bank on size or talent. You know, my biggest thing is like 9 times out of 10, I was one of the fastest. I could jump the highest. Basketball, I could dunk. Shoot a 3 every now and then. So I'm just like, well, you know, when I get 6'6", I ain't gonna really have to dribble or, you know, I ain't gonna have to go to the weight room in football because no one's as fast as me and no one's gonna, you know. And so that's what I banked on a lot. Like the weight room, non-existent. I was not doing that shit. I tried for like a week. Like, man, I'm gonna load the PlayStation up. Like, for real, man. I mean, that's all I did. Come home. I mean, at the time, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 was popping and, you know, that Halo era. Like,
Went crazy.
I was just banking on, you know, I'm going to be 6'6", so it won't matter.
Right.
Man, you know, I'm going to grow into just 220 out of nowhere and shit. So, I mean, definitely invest in yourself like you're not going to have any of those things. Because nowadays I see a lot of kids, like, they'll have crazy crossovers or they'll have this or that, and they just think, oh, well, finishing around the rim will just happen, you know, or shooting 3-pointers will just come at some point. You know, my size in football, if you're playing running back and you've been built like me, like a pencil your whole life, and it's just like, oh, when I get to high school, I'm going to magically gain 80 pounds. Like, you really have to work on that. And I definitely didn't really see or acknowledge that until it was too late. And I was, at that point, I was just like, fuck it. You know, it's just like I wasted so much time. But I would definitely say invest a lot of time in yourself outside of what you think is going to happen. Because it's definitely an eye-opener once that ball stops bouncing. It's like, damn, now I got to try to get all this shit out in a year or two in college to try to go play real D1. Like, I was like, let me put these shoes up.
Facts.
Man, nah, man, that's it, man. I just want to thank everybody for being with us, man, again on another episode from the Jump Podcast. Alex, what you got
We're
going on?
now available on Apple Podcasts, so
Yes, sir.
I'll be putting that link in the YouTube description.
Strides.
Finally, after a long time, because most people have Apple products, so you go to Apple Podcasts and it will be from the jump. Yeah, it's not officially called up all the way just because I was waiting for it to get on Apple Podcasts before I upload everything, but it'll be called up by the time you guys hear this. But yeah, be Apple Podcasts. Make sure to subscribe and leave a rating.
Yes, sir.
It
Leave
helps
a
out a
like,
lot.
comment, subscribe, rating, all that below. Also, partnered with Intertwine Podcast as well as the Alexander Taylor Show. So if you would pretty please go ahead and go over there to my brother's platforms and show them some love, the same love you show over here. And again, I'm your host, DJ. To my right, I got
Yeah.
behind the camera, we got
Alex in the building.
and to the left.
Big Tony.
Hey, man, you know what it is, and we out.